reach out to, make the fight. But we didn't know how serious it was. Me and Ryan, we just basically got on the phone. I told him everything I wanted. And yeah, no, I am a competitor. And, when I first started out boxing, when I took it serious and, I was like, this what I'm gonna do. I wanted to be, I said, I'm gonna be great in the sport. I'm gonna be the best. I'm not in here to be, just a competitor. I'm not in here to be just one of the other guys. I want to be the best. I want to be the guy. So it hasn't, nothing has changed. So the world get to see me face it, but I'm gonna rise even higher than I was before.
Now that you're taking care of business, how does you and Devin Haney end? How does that fight go?
A knockout.
45 seconds left, kid. Stay sharp, baby.
Bro, I'm real, bro. I'm for real. And put anybody in there in front of me, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna stop them. Put your money on it.
Keyshawn Davis just delivered the most brutal callout in boxing, and Devin Haney's response has the entire combat sports world buzzing. After Davis demolished Jamin Ortiz with a vicious TKO in his junior welterweight debut, he didn't celebrate. He didn't thank his team. Instead, he grabbed that microphone and declared war on one of boxing's biggest names. And what happened next? Pure chaos, because this isn't just trash talk anymore. Davis has the power to back it up. Haney's reputation is on the line, and somebody's about to get their career altered forever.
The question to you is, you called out Devin Haney. You talked the other day, and I told you what Mickey Bay said about Devin Haney and you fight. I talked with somebody that you might know from when you were younger, Coach Sean from Norfolk, Virginia. He told me, when it come to fighting, Keyshawn Davis is just a mean little dude. Like, you can come, you want to box and do all that. He love to fight. Now, I asked you this about Mickey when it came to Devin Haney. Now that you're taking care of business, how does you and Devin Haney end? How does that fight go?
A knockout.
Here's where this gets absolutely wild. When Davis called out Haney, most people expected silence, maybe some diplomatic response through his team. But Haney fired back immediately on social media with 3 words that changed everything. Keyshawn, let's do it. No hesitation, no conditions, just a direct acceptance that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. And Davis, he didn't back down for a second. He came back even harder, saying he'd knock Haney out cold and that he's been waiting for this moment his entire career. Think about what just happened here. 2 undefeated fighters, both in their prime, just agreed to potentially destroy each other on the biggest stage possible. This isn't some manufactured beef for pay-per-view buys. This is real animosity that's been building for years.
He had to turn himself in, but I believe he tweeted like, Keyshawn, let's do it.
He said that?
Yeah, but he tweeted like something like that. Yeah.
Well, Bill was in my DMs. We already was talking about it, honestly, before he even hit the media, so I know it's going to happen in 2026.
And you're good going straight to Devin in your first fight at 47?
If it make money, it makes.
But Davis isn't stopping with Haney. This man is on a mission to fight every elite name at 140 pounds, and he's calling them all out by name. Lewis Crocker, Dalton Smith, anyone with a reputation and a ranking. Davis is making it clear that he's not here to take easy fights or build his record against journeymen. He wants the smoke with everyone, and he's convinced he'll stop whoever steps in front of him. What's terrifying for his opponents is that he's actually backing up this confidence with devastating performances. The way he dismantled Ortiz wasn't just impressive, it was a statement. And now every fighter in the division knows that Davis isn't just talking, he's hunting.
You set your targets publicly on Devin Haney, #1 welterweight by ring, most estimations right now, champion. Why is that? Why Devin Haney? And you have half the amount of professional fights he has. Do you think that's something? There's enough in it for him when he's.
I was 6-0 fighting people with 30+ fights, bro. Stop
I don't mean it from that. What I mean is
stop it.
Why is he
stop it? No, I'm playing. I'm playing, bro. Nah, why Devin Haney, bro? Honestly, because he's a star. He's a superstar.
You asking that question. I felt like that's what it was. But go ahead.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm ready to fight anybody.
And get this, Davis is going straight for Haney's biggest weakness. He's blasting Haney for having no knockout power, claiming that even though Haney moved up in weight, he still can't hurt anyone. Davis is saying Haney's pillow-fisted, that he's never shown real punching strength at any weight class, and that he'd walk through whatever Haney could throw at him. This is psychological warfare at its finest. Davis knows that power is everything in boxing, and if he can convince people that Haney can't crack an egg, it undermines Haney's entire reputation. But here's what's really brutal about this Callout. Davis isn't just questioning Haney's power, he's questioning his heart. He's saying Haney has never respected him, never saw him as a threat, and has always underestimated what he brings to the table.
But we talking business right now, I will knock Devin out for sure. For sure.
You don't think he's hitting a little harder at 47 than he was at 35 and 40 growing into that weight? That's a no.
It looked like it.
It looked like it.
It looks
to
like
us, Keyshawn.
To me,
Let's see how hard I hit January 31st.
I like it.
Do you think you're already a bright enough star that he'd be willing to take? Because, you know, as a businessman, risk reward. You think you bring enough to the table that he'd want to take the fight? He would take the fight?
Hopefully, bro. I hope he would take the fight. In terms of answering your question, a bright enough star, he's already entertaining me on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. So I guess he sees some money potential in this fight right here. But what I would like to do is I would like to become champion, because that just speaks for itself. Once I come to the champion with the table.
Now listen to this part, because it gets even crazier. Davis took this beef to the next level by calling out Bill Haney, Devin's father and trainer, demanding that he make this fight happen. Davis looked directly into the camera and told Bill Haney to stop protecting his son and give the fans what they want. He's basically saying that the Haney camp is scared, that they're avoiding him, and that if they won't make the fight happen through negotiations, he'll force their hand by continuing to destroy everyone else in the division. This is chess-level gamesmanship. Davis knows that by calling out the father publicly, he's putting maximum pressure on the entire Haney operation to respond or look weak.
Could never fuck with me.
On what tip?
Bro, it was like times where me, I was always around Shakur as an amateur and shit. So Shakur introduced me to Floyd, Devin Haney, all that type of shit. So there's a hell of times I'm around Devin Haney and we 24 fitness playing basketball, regular shit before niggas became celebrities type shit, or just who we are today. And nigga never even looked me in my eyes. Nigga never showed me respect. Like nigga never. Shakur always like, yo, this nigga Keyshawn, this, that, third. He be like, for real? That nigga still a kid. And like, he just never gave me my respect.
He sent you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bitch ass nigga, you know goddamn well, nigga. Now I'm here, nigga. And everything Shakur been saying, nigga, I lived up to it and then some. What you talking about? And he still, like, his father used to, it's crazy because my beginning of my professional career, his father used to be like, oh, shit, the businessman. What's up with you? Like, dap me up.
My man.
And,
so you
and
always
Dev,
was the businessman.
And Dev was keep his face forward and like, damn, I can't get no pat. Like, nigga, we African American. You can't show me no type of love. You're weird.
Hold up, because what Davis did to Jamin Ortiz proves this isn't just talk. Ortiz had gone the distance with legends like Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Nobody had ever stopped him. He was known for his durability, his ability to survive against elite competition, and his granite chin. Then Davis stepped into the ring and erased that reputation in one night. The stoppage came in the 12th round, which means Davis didn't just hurt Ortiz early and finish him. He systematically broke him down over 12 rounds, showing championship-level patience and finishing instincts. Boxing analysts are calling it one of the most impressive divisional debuts in recent memory, and it's sending a message to every fighter at 140 pounds that Davis is ready for anyone.
Hey, but listen, you still got an opportunity when you go handle your business right here, because you know me and you are in the DM, correct? And you know you told me that you would look like an opportunity, and I believe you.
Not Jermaine, now what we doing?
The same thing that we talked about we were going to do in the DMs before you picked Jermaine.
So 2026, we doing it.
You promise?
You promise?
But here's the kicker about that performance. Davis revealed that he felt stronger and more comfortable at 140 than he ever expected. He said he was absorbing Ortiz's best shots without losing momentum, that he maintained consistent energy throughout all 12 rounds, and that he was looking for the knockout from the opening bell. This wasn't a lucky punch or a flash knockdown. This was sustained dominance that culminated in a decisive finish. Davis showed championship-level composure, strategic patience, and devastating power all in one performance. And now he's using that momentum to target the biggest names in the division, starting with Haney.
Davis returned to the ring, stopping Jermaine Ortiz, something that Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko couldn't do against Jermaine Ortiz. Heck, they had tough battles with Ortiz. Keyshawn relatively was in control and made this look easy. All right, let's talk about the first half of this fight. It was a very awkward and ugly fight as Jermaine Ortiz was moving all around, kind of jittery. Something we anticipated Jermaine Ortiz would do. That's kind of how he fights, really awkward type. Keyshawn Davis was like, all right, cool. The jab was phenomenal for Keyshawn. Yes, the power punches through like the first half of the fight were even. The jab was way in favor of Keyshawn Davis. That's how he was able to keep Jermaine Ortiz at range. So when Ortiz tried to come in quickly, Keyshawn wasn't having any of it. Then the second half of the fight, really rounds 8 through 12, Jermaine Ortiz realized, I can't keep doing that. I'm gonna have to just stand right in front of him and kind of box and try and land some shots, because Ortiz did land some shots on Keyshawn, nothing of note. And then when he stood in front of him, man, Keyshawn picked him apart. The jab, the right hand, the left hand, hooks. I'm telling you everything. Keyshawn Davis is back. In the 11th round, stops him with drops him with a body shot, goes to the head, nice right hand. Then you can see on the replay, he looks down, sees Ortiz is covering with his hands up here, looks at the body, sees it wide open, left hand to the body, drops him. Ortiz has to take a knee. Then in the 12th round, Ortiz has an awful left eye, swollen, basically shut. They're like, all right, last round, let's go ahead. Keyshawn, 15 seconds left, does what he needs to do, gets the stoppage, the TKO. Ref says, yeah, no, I can't do it anymore. I can't watch this. Keyshawn Davis is back. Hey, he called out Devin Haney immediately after the fight. He wants to go up to 47. Already looked pretty big, looked strong at 40, but says, hey, I can go to 46.
Here's where it gets personal, and this explains everything about Davis's motivation. He opened up about the emotional journey leading to this fight, admitting there were nights when he questioned whether he even wanted to continue boxing. Davis talked about the mental struggles, the setbacks, the moments when he almost walked away from the sport entirely. But he made a promise to his fans that he'd score a knockout in his 140-pound debut, and performing in front of 20,000 people, he delivered exactly what he promised. This victory isn't just about advancing his career, it's about proving to himself that he belongs at the highest level. And that kind of motivation is dangerous for anyone standing across from him.
I broke a punch a little bit. I was surprised. I'm like, damn, okay. But yeah, man, I just felt like, I feel like he had a lot of respect for me in the ring. I feel like I was already getting to him in the weigh-ins and press conference. I don't know. I think I just always get to my opponents before I fight. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I just be being myself, for real. And he was showing me a lot of respect in there in the ring. But also, as the fight just kept going on, we both got comfortable with each other, like, all right, bet. So I did fear him actually trying to win, for sure. But, like, after a while, as I kept punching him and as my strength and energy was not going down, he was just in there. So then after, like, 6th round, I'm like, all right, I got 6 more rounds to go. I'm really about to try to stop you now. You know what I'm saying? Even in the 12th round, I'm like, I'm about to stop you. Like it never left my head. Like, I'm about to stop you. Like, every round, I'm about to stop you. I don't know when.
Davis hasn't held back about how he sees a potential matchup with Haney, and his confidence is borderline disrespectful. He's called Haney easy work on social media, claiming Haney has nothing stylistically that worries him and that he'd handle him comfortably when the fight gets made. Davis is emphasizing that he stopped multiple opponents who had never been stopped before, and he believes he'd do the same to Haney. But it goes deeper than just confidence in his power. Davis is suggesting that Haney's entire skill set is overrated, that his boxing IQ won't matter when he's getting hurt, and that once Haney feels real power, his whole game plan will fall apart.
Knockout win in his debut at 140 to cement his status as a top player in the division, and I'm going to turn it over to Keyshawn.
Well, first things first, all glory to God. Jesus Christ forgive me this win. It's been a long time coming, man. From my last fight all the way to tonight, man, it was a lot of twists and turns and up and downs and nights where I just didn't even want to do this anymore. And y'all don't know the half of, like, how I even got here tonight just to perform. And how I got that knockout is crazy because I always dreamed to get like a 12-round knockout, like 12 round. Like that was always my dream. So like to do it in an opponent like Jermaine Ortiz on my return in front of 20,000 fans, that's God, bro. That's God. I feel like he turned my whole career around. And now it's just continually just keep trusting in him. You know, that he's gonna do even bigger things for me. And I'm here, man. I'm back and I'm better, just like I promised y'all. Also, I promised y'all.
And Davis went nuclear on Haney over the Ryan Garcia lawsuit situation. He called Haney soft for taking legal action instead of settling things in the ring, questioning his sportsmanship, and saying that real fighters take their losses with dignity and move on. Davis is painting Haney as someone who can't handle adversity, who runs to lawyers instead of fighting through setbacks. He's also attacking the narrative that Haney has been protected by his father throughout his career, calling him a daddy's boy who hasn't faced true adversity despite his undefeated record. This isn't just trash talk. This is character assassination designed to get under Haney's skin and force him into a fight.
Devin Haney.
I feel like me and Devin Haney will be it'll be an easy fight for me, bro. Like super easy, bro. Like, and I know I would stop Devin Haney. I've been saying this, bro, before the Ryan fight, bro. He just don't got nothing for me. He got nothing for me. Like, you don't got no power. You got nothing for me to worry about. Like, what are you gonna do to stop me?
Got you.
And what I got coming with, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he don't got nothing to even stop me. His defense is not that good. I feel like I got better defense than him. I know he fought better opponents than me, so you know what I'm saying? So I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just feel like I got better defense than him.
His resume tough.
Nah, it is.
His resume tough.
But you gotta realize he fought a lot of guys that was smaller than him too, bro. A lot of these guys were smaller than him, and he was saying it in the weigh-ins, you're too small. You know what I mean? So he knew what he was doing, bro. You know what I mean? So everybody got that.
But wait, it gets worse for Davis's argument, because Haney has receipts about his toughness. After getting dropped 3 times by Ryan Garcia, Haney pointed out that he got up every single time and kept fighting. He's saying that proves he has both chin and heart, that he's not afraid of getting hit, and that overcoming adversity is part of becoming a great fighter. Haney is flipping the Garcia fight from a negative into evidence of his resilience, claiming that his ability to rise off the canvas demonstrates something that critics don't give him credit for. This creates a fascinating dynamic. Davis is saying Haney can't take a punch, while Haney is using the Garcia fight as proof that he can survive anything.
Haney doing all of this with a person that had 0.1 estrogen, and we all seen that Ryan Garcia was still in there getting tired. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, there's no other word to put it. You're a excuse my language. That's how I feel. You're soft. You will not take your L's. You a person that been given everything all your life. Daddy's boy, making sure you been straight all your life. And
now here's something that adds serious credibility to Haney's side of this debate. Andre Ward, the former 2-division world champion and current boxing analyst, has publicly endorsed Haney's talent and potential. Ward isn't just throwing around casual praise. He specifically highlighted Haney's work ethic, discipline, and full-time commitment to boxing as qualities that make him extremely difficult to beat. Coming from someone of Ward's caliber, this endorsement carries massive weight in boxing circles. Ward has also defended Haney's controversial performances, like the close fight with Garcia, urging critics to view those bouts more objectively. When a fighter of Ward's status calls you one of the sport's elite competitors, that's not something you can dismiss easily.
Hey, oh, he don't have a chin. No, when you get hit and you get up, that's what's showing you have a chin. Being able to get hit and get right back to it.
Did you ever recover from that getting hurt the first time? In the very first round?
I feel like I recovered because I wasn't that hurt. It was more like a surprise.
Like shock.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I recovered.
What is Bill telling you throughout the course of the fight? What did he have? What type of urgency did he have? What was he saying?
Like I said, I don't want to speak on that too much for various reasons, but yeah.
Are y'all still taking legal action over what he did? Are y'all still thinking about it?
So here's where we stand. Davis just delivered the most dominant performance of his career and is using that momentum to call out everyone in the division, starting with Haney. He's questioning Haney's power, his toughness, and his character while positioning himself as the hungry young lion ready to take over. Meanwhile, Haney has the resume, the endorsements from legends like Andre Ward, and the confidence that comes from surviving real adversity against elite competition. This isn't just about who wins the fight. This is about who controls the narrative at 140 pounds and who becomes the face of the division. One man's career is about to accelerate to superstardom, and the other's reputation might never recover. So here's my question for you, drop it in the comments. Is Davis's power enough to overcome Haney's experience and boxing IQ, or is this just another young fighter who's about to learn a hard lesson about levels in this sport? If this breakdown helped you understand what's really at stake in this potential super fight, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because this situation is developing fast and you don't want to miss what happens next. I'll see you in the next one.
Haney has done a masterful job with how he's moved his son. And Devin Haney is the truth. He's got skill. He's probably one of the most technically sound fighters in the game today. I think Haney has the advantage because similar to me and Kovalev, people think, oh, he's been at the weight class longer, so he's bigger. It's like, nah, he might be bigger. Doesn't mean he's stronger, and he's sucking himself down to get to 140. That shows up after that 6th or 7th round. The guy coming up, if he knows how to box and he knows his way around that ring, he ultimately has the advantage because I don't have to look like a skeleton on that skin.
But hold up, because there's something massive we haven't talked about yet that changes everything about this potential fight. The financial implications of a Davis versus Haney matchup are absolutely staggering, and both fighters know it. We're looking at potential pay-per-view numbers that could eclipse anything either man has ever been involved in. Davis just proved he can headline major events and deliver spectacular finishes that create viral moments. Haney brings name recognition, championship pedigree, and a fan base that spans multiple weight classes. When you combine those elements, you're talking about a fight that could generate tens of millions of dollars and launch both careers into the stratosphere. But here's the catch. Whoever loses doesn't just lose money, they lose their entire trajectory in the sport. The timing of this Callout is absolutely perfect, and Davis knows it. Haney is coming off that controversial performance against Ryan Garcia where he got dropped multiple times but still won on the scorecards. His confidence might be shaken, his chin is now questioned, and he's dealing with legal drama that's keeping him out of the ring. Davis is striking while the iron is hot, capitalizing on a moment when Haney might be vulnerable both mentally and physically. This isn't accidental. Davis has been studying the landscape, waiting for the perfect opportunity to make his move. He's seen how Garcia exposed certain weaknesses in Haney's game, and he believes he can exploit those same vulnerabilities, but with better preparation and more sustained pressure. And get this, the amateur rivalry between these two goes back years, which adds layers of genuine animosity to this beef. They've been watching each other's careers develop, measuring themselves against each other, and building up resentment over who gets more respect and recognition. Davis has been grinding in the professional ranks while watching Haney get bigger fights and more media attention. There's real jealousy and competitive fire behind these callouts. This isn't manufactured drama for social media. These two genuinely believe they're better than the other, and they've been waiting for the right moment to prove it. When fighters have that kind of personal history, the violence in the ring reaches a completely different level. But here's where this story takes an unexpected turn. Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, has been watching this entire situation unfold, and industry insiders are saying he's not happy about Keyshawn Davis making waves in his division. Tank has been the king of the lower weight classes for years, and he's not about to let another Davis steal his thunder or his pay-per-view spotlight. Sources close to Tank's camp are saying he's been making calls, trying to position himself for bigger fights at 140 pounds, and he sees both Keyshawn and Haney as potential obstacles to his plans. This could create a three-way rivalry that would dominate boxing headlines for the next 2 years. Imagine the promotional possibilities, two fighters named Davis and Devin Haney all gunning for the same throne. The psychological aspect of this beef is getting absolutely vicious, and it's revealing character traits in both fighters that we've never seen before. Davis is showing a ruthless, calculating side where he's willing to attack everything about Haney, his family, his training, his legal situations, his masculinity. He's not just trying to win a fight, he's trying to destroy Haney's entire identity as a fighter. Meanwhile, Haney is displaying a new level of aggression in his responses, showing that the criticism is getting under his skin and making him more dangerous. When fighters start taking things personally, When it becomes about respect and legacy rather than just winning, that's when careers get ended and legends are born. Now let's talk about what the experts are saying, because the analytical breakdown of this potential matchup is fascinating. CompuBox statistics show that Davis has been landing power shots at a significantly higher rate than Haney throughout their respective careers. Davis connects on 38% of his power punches compared to Haney's 31%, which supports Davis's argument about having superior offensive capabilities. But Haney's defensive numbers are substantially better. He only absorbs 19% of his opponent's power shots, while Davis takes 24%. This creates a fascinating stylistic clash between an offensive powerhouse and a defensive specialist. The question becomes whether Davis can maintain his accuracy against Haney's elusive movement, or if Haney can frustrate Davis into making mistakes. The sparring stories are starting to leak out, and they're adding fuel to this fire in ways nobody expected. Word is getting around that these two have had heated sparring sessions in the past where things got out of hand. Multiple sources are saying there was one particular session where punches were thrown after the bell, harsh words were exchanged, and both fighters had to be separated by their teams. Neither camp is officially confirming these stories, but the boxing community is buzzing with rumors about bad blood that goes back years. If these sparring sessions really happen the way people are describing, it explains why the animosity feels so genuine, and why both fighters seem personally invested in proving their superiority. Here's something that's flying under the radar but could be crucial: the weight cut situation for both fighters. Davis just moved up to 140 and looked phenomenal, suggesting he's found his optimal weight class where he can maintain power while feeling stronger and more durable. But Haney moved up from 135, where he was already struggling to make weight toward the end of his lightweight reign. There are questions about whether Haney can maintain his speed and movement advantages at the higher weight, especially against someone with Davis's power. Nutritionists and strength coaches are quietly debating whether Haney's frame is better suited for 140 or if he gave up some of his natural advantages by moving up. This could be the deciding factor in a close fight. The training camp dynamics for this potential fight are absolutely fascinating. Davis trains with a smaller, hungrier team that's building their reputation on his success. They're willing to take risks, try new strategies, and adapt their approach based on specific opponents. Haney works with his father, Bill, who's been developing game plans for elite competition for years and has proven he can get his son ready for anyone. But there's growing speculation that Haney might need to bring in additional coaching voices to prepare for Davis's specific style and power. Some analysts are suggesting that Bill Haney's protective instincts might actually hurt Devin's preparation if he's not willing to expose his son to the kind of punishment Davis will bring. The social media warfare between these two has reached nuclear levels, and it's creating storylines that extend far beyond the sport itself. Davis has been posting training videos specifically designed to intimidate Haney, showing off knockout power and conditioning work while tagging Haney in every post. Haney has been responding with technical boxing clips, emphasizing his superior fundamentals and ring IQ. But the comment sections on these posts have become battlegrounds where fans are dissecting every aspect of both fighters' careers, creating engagement numbers that promoters are definitely noticing. This kind of organic buzz is exactly what pay-per-view events need to succeed, and both fighters are proving they understand how to build anticipation without even being in the same room. And here's where the business side gets really interesting. Al Haymon and Premier Boxing champions have been quietly positioning themselves to capitalize on this rivalry, while Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing are making their own moves to secure streaming rights and international distribution. The promotional politics behind this potential fight are incredibly complex, with multiple networks, streaming platforms, and international broadcasters all trying to get involved. Industry insiders are saying this could be the fight that determines which promotional company controls the 140-pound division for the next several years. The winner doesn't just get a belt, they get the promotional muscle and financial backing to become a legitimate superstar. But let's get real about something that nobody wants to talk about. The pressure on both fighters is absolutely immense, and it's starting to show in different ways. Davis is carrying the expectations of everyone who believes he's the next big thing in boxing, while also dealing with the pressure of backing up his trash talk with actual performance. Haney is fighting to prove that his reputation isn't built on hype, that he can handle adversity, and that moving up in weight was the right decision for his career. Both men are at crossroads where a loss could derail years of momentum and millions of dollars in future earnings. That kind of pressure breaks some fighters and elevates others to legendary status. The international implications of this fight are huge, and both fighters are starting to build fan bases in markets that could determine their long-term earning potential. Davis's aggressive style and knockout power translate perfectly to international audiences who want explosive action. Haney's technical skills and championship experience appeal to boxing purists worldwide who appreciate defensive mastery and ring intelligence. A fight between these two would likely do massive numbers in the UK, Australia, and other major boxing markets, creating opportunities for international tour and global sponsorship deals that could set both fighters up for life. The winner becomes a legitimate worldwide attraction, while the loser might be limited to domestic opportunities. Here's what's really wild about the timing of all this. Both fighters are entering their physical primes at the exact same moment. Davis is 25 years old with the kind of devastating power that typically peaks in a fighter's mid-20s. Haney is 25 as well, with the technical skills and ring experience that usually mature around this age. We're potentially looking at two fighters meeting at the absolute peak of their abilities, which historically produces the most memorable and violent encounters in boxing history. Neither man will ever be faster, stronger, or more skilled than they are right now, which means whoever wins will have beaten their opponent at their absolute best.